So since Friday's a half day for me at work and I don't really get many other days off, I decided that I could do something interesting for a video. So I went into Paisley and I just tried to find as many shops as possible that sold books, whether they be bookshops, charity shops or antique shops. I managed to find 7 in total, 5 of which I'd already been to, 2 I had no idea about. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of do a review of each shop, kind of talk about it, give it a rating and see the books that I got from it in order. The first one I went to is the charity superstore. It's very near the train station. Most of what it sells is generally furniture as well as some clothes, however it does have a back section of the shop with books. And honestly, out of all the charity shops I've been to, British Heart Foundation, Cancer Research, not just in Paisley, just in general, I actually think this is the best one I've seen, which isn't saying much. It wasn't an excellent shop for books. It was a bit mediocre, but nonetheless, I did get something from it. Oh, by the way, other than Oxfam, but Oxfam specialises in books. I'm just talking about general charity shops that don't specialise in books. They're almost all horrible. They're not worth it. But yeah, this one was fairly decent. The only book I got from it was the Coming of the Barbarians. See if I can open it. I'll hold my camera. Yeah, it's basically the story about America coming in contact with Japan, as well as Japan opening up. Just last week I actually looked at another book by a British author. This one was called A Diplomat in Japan, and it was basically a kind of semi-biography or a biography of his time in Japan during the 1870s and 1880s. Although I didn't really enjoy that one. I found that it focused too much on kind of him as a person and his life rather than the subject itself. So with that being said, given that this isn't about any particular person but the subject, I'm hoping that this will give me a better overview of it than the last one did. Yeah. This book is only, yeah, about 220 pages or so. So it's fairly short. I should hopefully be done with it in 5 days or so. I'll actually start this one first. The second shop I went to, and this is again where the charity shops get bad, was a cancer research shop. I can't remember what company it was, but as I said, it was pretty atrocious in terms of books. Very back of the shop, small selection, mostly kind of newer biographies, lots of generic fiction, young adult fiction, that kind of thing, as well as cookbooks, children's books, similar stuff. I went very small selection at that, so yeah. I didn't really find anything too interesting there, so I'm just going to give it a 2 out of 10. Oh, sorry, did I rate the last one? Sorry, the first one I went with the charity superstore is a 6. I think I rated it, but I can't remember, but yeah. The cancer shop, I'm rating a 2. The next one I went to was a British Heart Foundation shop. It's a clearance shop, so it's extremely cheap. It's 3 books for £1. I'm going to rate this one a 3 because the selection was very similar to the first shop. Very poor, but nonetheless it was a bit cheaper, and if I had to choose between the both of them, I'd say that the British Heart Foundation selection slightly better, very slightly. There was 1 or 2 history books there, and there was, I think, a classic or 2 as well. The next shop is Shelter, another charity shop, not worth talking about. Exact same story as the cancer one. Very back of the shop, small selection, mostly kids books, cookbooks, that kind of things. Salvation Army again. Unfortunately, like most charity shops, same story. A 2. Very back of the shop, small selection, cookbooks, new biographies, new fiction. Or I can't remember now, but with that being said, out of one of the I actually believe it was the cancer one, I did find a fiction book, a kind of historical fiction book set in the Roman Empire, which I thought was interesting, but other than that, it was just the usual, and I wouldn't consider that one book to be enough to push it up. I then went to Christ, I can't remember what it is now. Oh, honestly, I can't remember its name, but yeah, I can't remember. It was kind of. It's basically a shop that sells all sorts of things like pens, notepads, pencils, and also happens to sell books. Again, I wish I could remember what it was called, but I forgot. It's a big shop, it's a big brand. I'm just not in there much, but yeah. The books that they actually sell, most of them are newer books, so it's kind of upfront price, £10 you're talking about for the average book. They do have a clearance section, however the clearance section is, you're talking £4, £5 for even just a small paperback, so yeah. Compared to any of the charity shops you might go in there and the second hand bookshops, the clearance section is, the prices aren't worth it. I'd rate this one a 4. The only reason I'm rating it below the charity superstore, because while obviously selling new books, it has a wider selection, it has manga, lots of history, lots of science, dictionaries, it has every kind of genre you want, philosophy. You are looking at £10 for the average price of a book, which is significantly more than what you'd find